Hello and welcome to Plant-Based Cooking with AARP Alabama. I'm your host for today, Tawana Wright, and our session today is with Chef Kimberly McNair Brock. Folks, we want to make sure that you understand that AARP empowers people to choose how they live as they age. AARP is a nonpartisan 501c4 organization that has over 420,000 members in Alabama. AARP's role is to advocate for those 50 plus and their families. Since the pandemic began, AARP Alabama has been focusing on programming that allows people to stay safe in their home while they're taking part in activities. And today's activity, plant-based cooking, is one that's gaining some traction. Good morning, Chef Brock. How are you?
I'm great. Good morning. Glad to be here.
All right, we're so glad that you're with us. Chef Brock is from Biddy's Living Kitchen. And Chef Brock, can you please tell us what was going on this morning?
Yes, so we're in a new, great, beautiful space. I wish everyone could see my view. So we've got a lot of firsts today. And today we'll be making raw lasagna with cashew herb cheese.
Sounds good to me. Well, I'm going to get out of the way so you can take it over.
Awesome. So we've got our zucchini that we're using for noodles today and our mandolin. So you just take the zucchini, I've cut the ends off, and you just slide it down. And I know sometimes people are really nervous about using the mandolin. If you've got the cover, use it. I'm not going to go all the way down that far on this zucchini, so I'm not as worried as we should be. So that's quick and short. But we take the zucchini and put it in the bowl here. And we toss it in with some oil, some fresh herbs, and some of our spice blend. So we use grapeseed oil, and you could use olive oil in this application. And then we're going to use oregano. And for your spices, you can just use salt, pepper, maybe some granulated garlic or onion powder if you use that. So I've got some fresh oregano here that we're just going to dice up. I pulled the leaves off the stems. Okay. And it's just going to give it some flavor and texture. And the biggest thing here is to just show your food some love. So you've got to really work the flavors into the ribbons of zucchini. So I'm just going to do that. And as I do that, I'm going to lay it on a parchment lined cookie sheet.
So, Chef, can you tell them again what's in your spice blend?
So this, I'm using salt, pepper, and granulated garlic. Okay. Okay. And even though it's called raw, if you have a food dehydrator, that is the optimum choice of what to use. But if you don't, you can use your oven on a very low setting and let it dry out that way in the oven. And it will probably take at least 4 hours. But our food starts to get cooked at over 118 degrees. And I don't know anybody's oven that gets that low, but you can mimic it as close to it as you can. So that's what we have there. I'm going to put this to the side. All right. And I've got some extra ones here. So then we also have a beefsteak tomato that's been cut up into slices. And the remaining pieces of the tomato we've diced up. Okay. And we're going to take some fresh basil, all right in the same bowl. And I love basil, just goes with tomatoes. Okay. And then we'll dice up the basil. Smells so good and fresh. And there's already some oregano in here, but if you feel like you want to add some more diced up leaves, you certainly can. Okay. And then you just want to add the basil to the tomatoes and give them the same kind of love. Okay. And then you're going to put this in an oven like I mentioned, and it's going to dry this up, so to speak. Okay. So we're going to take this and set it aside. I'm going to put this bowl in the sink. Pretend like we put that in the oven. Okay. All right. And from there, we're going to start working on our cashew cheese. So to this, we're going to add pine nuts. And we're going to add our cashews. And undoubtedly, you will have this cheese to use for days later. We have some fresh lemon juice, fresh squeezed lemon juice. A couple of tablespoons of that there. And it seems like I always get exactly the amount that I need. Yay! Okay. And a couple cloves of garlic. And basically, you're just putting everything in here. It's a half a cup of water. And these are raw cashews, by the way. And this is a little more than half cup. I'm going to do some salt. Well, salt if needed. We'll wait and taste it. So we've got some turmeric here, really just for color. We're going to do, a fourth of a teaspoon. Chili powder, again, mostly for color. Looks really nice and smoky. And we've got fresh basil, not basil, but dill that we're going to use here. Okay. So the dill just kind of brightens up the cheese. You like dill and cheese, but you really don't even taste it. So I'll just pick the leaves off here. And we're going to chop it up just a little. It's just nice to have fresh living herbs in your food. So you can get all of the enzymes, natural enzymes from our fruits and vegetables. You might be tired of eating a salad, but this is something that would be cooling and raw that you could eat that would still be a party in your mouth. So I'm just going to rough chop that there. Okay. Add this in. And I think we are good to go. And like I said, we're doing first today. This is my first time using a Ninja. I normally have my trusty Vitamix, but we're going to give it a go. Okay. And it's not done, but I know I need more liquid.
Chef, when you're blending that, is it just a matter of your personal preference on consistency?
I would want it to be smooth, really smooth,
Like a
no
like a
texture.
creamy peanut butter?
Right. And like I said, I'm not used to using a Ninja, so I'm going to have to use some more water. And I do want it to, I don't want it to be thin, but I want it to be spreadable. So sometimes it just takes a little trial and error. So there's going to be a lot of opening and scraping the sides and back and forth.
So if we wanted to blend that ahead of time or can we do it like the night before we're going to prepare our lasagna
Oh,
to
sure.
save time? Okay.
Absolutely. Are you hating the noise right
Oh,
now?
no. I just wondered because a lot of times I know you can do some of the things you can prep before you make the meal. If you're
Mhm.
coming in from a hard day at work
Oh, absolutely.
and I was just wondering if you could do that.
Yeah, you can. I'm actually going to add some salt in, a half a teaspoon. Okay, I just want to throw these measuring spoons away.
That's the beauty of live streaming. Anything that can happen will happen.
Okay. One more time, y'all. And you were talking about doing it beforehand. A lot of this can be done beforehand, actually. And it can be served cold, it can be served room temp. That's good. Still want a little bit more acid. So a lot of this plant-based cooking is you can't mess up, If I had added a whole tablespoon or teaspoon of salt right from the jump, that would have been kind of a mess. But you just keep going and keep trying, trial and error. And you can always make something out of it. A little bit
What are
more.
you adding in?
I'm adding more of the lemon juice.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just based on your personal preferences when you're putting these meals together.
Well, right, but I'm not trying to be a snob on a manufacturer, but if this was a Vitamix, it would be the consistency that I would want it. But as far as the flavors, um, you know, you just gotta go with what you really want. And some people don't want a lot of salt, you know. So like, not to make a commercial for Vitamix, but it will crush strawberry seeds, pulverize them. So, and it'll do it quickly. So that's good. So now we're gonna actually plate up and make the dish. I'm gonna clean up a little bit. Okay. Got our plate. And this is our already dehydrated zucchini and tomatoes. Put my gloves back on. Now, if you want to have a thicker strip of lasagna noodle, the zucchini, you can certainly cut them thicker than I did on the mandolin. It just will take longer to dehydrate them. So they're really delicate. So you want to put down 2 or 3 of them. Like I said, they're really delicate. Okay. And to this, we're just going to put some raw spinach. And you can chop it or you can tear it. But you just want to kind of do a layer of spinach.
Chef, we have a question. What's the consistency of the zucchini after you dehydrate it? Is it crisp or is it chewy?
It's chewy, but it all depends on how thick you cut it. So you slice it. Okay. To this, we're going to add our cheese mixture. And sometimes I just take an ice cream scoop and just put the dollops there. You could actually just take the zucchini and after you slice it and macerate it for a little bit of time, make this without it even going in the dehydrator or oven. Okay.
So one of the attendees said that they appreciate the fact that you taste it and make adjustments as you're going because they're usually afraid to tinker with a recipe.
Yeah, don't be afraid. Do not be afraid.
I like
And
what
they
you
were,
said about you can't go wrong if you
mm-hmm,
yeah you just keep altering it till it gets to where
right,
you want it to be.
right. And so I'm adding my tomato sauce here. And this is kind of messy making it, to be perfectly honest. But and then we're going to top it with another layer of zucchini. And then on top of that, we're going to put our sliced tomatoes, 3 on top.
So, chef, if you were preparing this for a family, would you
Hmm.
just use do the same process, just using a larger pan?
Right, I would, but I would do more, yeah, larger pan, more zucchini. I would probably do it thicker. Um, yeah. So if you just wanted to put a little bit of the cheese on top, and some fresh herbs on top. Just put a little oregano leaf. And there you have it. Raw lasagna with cashew herb cheese.
Well, that's a quick meal for a quick meal, and looks pretty good. I'm sorry that I'm in another location, not on site. So, what are the health benefits of a meal like this?
So it's going to give you tons of energy. You've got your dark leafy greens and the spinach, and we all need that. We all need to be consuming more raw, dark leafy greens every day. So, like a salad a day would be optimal, you know. But you can get them in this dish by just incorporating them like I did. And they aren't seasoned, but all the components around it are seasoned.
Okay. Thanks, Chef. I just saw a question pop in from Susan Garvey. Is this session recorded so we can watch it again? Yes, the session can be replayed on both the AARP Alabama YouTube channel and AARP Alabama Facebook page. Folks, we dropped a survey into the chat. Please take time and fill that out for us, and we greatly appreciate it. We've got tons of events that have happened this week and lots of stuff coming up next week. Chef Brock, we thank you for this.
Oh,
Uh,
well, thanks for having me.
Something new to add to the repertoire. Folks, if you didn't get your email reminder with the recipe in it, you can shoot me an email at twright@aarp.org. If you didn't get your reminder with the recipe in it, just shoot me an email and I'll make sure we get that to you. Well, Chef Brock, we'll see you again on May 27th for the next episode of Plant Based Cooking. And folks, we got a brief commercial. Like I said, it's going to show you some of the things we did this week and give you a preview of what's coming up next week. Thank you.
Thank you. See you later.